This is Rachel. And every morning at the same time, Rachel rode the same bus to her job at an elementary school, sat in the same seat in the back of the bus. Every day, she would notice and check out a guy who sat in front of her. Now, she never saw his face, and she still said she fell in love with the back of his head. Okay, follow on. Then one day, he noticed her, and he turned around. He looked at her, and he smiled right before getting off the bus. And she said it was the kind of smile that made her warm. She was hooked, but didn't know what to do. Then 2 days after he smiled at her, the bus breaks down. Oh, this is getting good. She gets up from her seat, passing by him. He smiles and says, "What are you gonna do?" She said, "I think I'll wait. I got, ways to go." He responded with, "I'm going to walk. I'm not going far." Then he nodded goodbye. Her dream man, her newfound love, walked away, walked right out of her life forever. So she thought. Well, Rachel Neumann joins us from her home in Oakland, California. Rachel, when you saw that this dream guy, Mr. Back of the Head, was leaving out of your life forever, what did you do? What did you think? Did you want to jump off the bus like Julia Roberts and run after him?
Honestly, no, Tamron. I was like, you know what? Easy come, easy go.
Okay, you're better than
A
me than
little
when I
bit.
was single, because I would have ran after him on that bus if I thought he was the one.
Well, I also thought there'd be a million more chances. We were on the bus. I took that bus every single day, right? It was a 40-minute bus ride. I figured I had a lot more time to look at the back of his neck and maybe even see the front
Okay,
of him
I
again.
love that. I love that because you work at a school, you had spring break the next week. So what happened, though, after spring break when you returned to your usual commute?
So I was living in Seattle and I didn't know anyone. So my mom came for spring break. We had a great spring break. And then I got back on the bus and he wasn't on it. And he wasn't on it again the next day or the next day. And in fact, I never saw him on the bus again. So that just made me think, okay, I guess it wasn't meant to be. It's a new
Okay,
town.
you handled that well. So you just accepted that you'd missed the chance, it is what it is, and you were ready to move on. So you discovered that at some point, though, that you're not just looking for him, apparently, and wondering about him, that he was also looking for you. What happened?
Yeah, so I just figured he got another job, he'd moved, something happened. And, in Seattle, people drink coffee the way that they drink drinks in Manhattan. So it was a weekend and I'd gone to my favorite coffee shop. And as usual, there was a line because there's always a line for the coffee shop.
Hmm.
And so I get in the back of the line and then to pass the time, I pick up the local newspaper, The Stranger. And, this is long before the internet or a cell phone. There
Right.
was nothing I could do. So besides read, it wasn't like I could just scroll through my messages. So I pick up the phone and I pick up my
Paper.
the newspaper, and then I do what everyone in Seattle did, which is I go to the back of the newspaper, which had the personal section.
Were you thrilled when she finally called you and answered the ad?
Yes, I was very excited and then a little bit scared. Yeah, I was very psyched.
So you got the call, and our audience wants to know, how did it end?
Well, why don't I show you?
Uh-oh. Here we go. So how did it end? The chance encounter on a bus? An ad for love? They got married. They are together in the same house. Congratulations on everything. 20 years together, 5 years of marriage. Does it feel as new as it did, guys, when you met on that bus?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's that combination still, right, of that feeling of home and security when I first met him, and still that feeling of surprise and mystery that happened as well.
So, Jason, I have to ask you, for the people out there who might see someone on a subway or run into someone, for people out there who were worried that they might miss that moment, that serendipitous love story, what do you offer them in the sense of hope? Hang on, believe that it can happen?
No, I had to do something. I had to do something that was very scary and vulnerable, but it was the right thing to do, definitely.
And
I'm
what
very
made you
excited
write
and
the
amazed
ad?
that I did.
What made you write the ad? Because you said you had to do something. Why the ad?
It was I just felt like that was my one approach. That was my shot right there. Like, okay, I got to do this. This is, I think, the way that I can get through and put this message out.
Well, Rachel, I'm looking at your beautiful curls, but I'm looking at Jason's great back of head, even though I can only see the front. So that's the back of the head that launched an epic love story.